Okay, so now onwards it will be more practical oriented. Classes will be more than theoretical, it will be more practical. So whatever I am doing here, please do it yourself every day, and keep these tables, and whatever we are doing here you have to keep throughout our course. Okay, so we are creating few tables here. These tables will be very much useful till the end of our course. Okay, I will ask you guys to write some queries, some stored procedures or functions, or even some whatever. Okay, whatever useful I will ask you guys to write on these three tables, and we will develop applications in WinForms or ASP.NET using these three tables only. Okay, so first we will create three tables. Okay, let me create this. Okay, so
हाँ 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 की कोडिंग वगैरह है ना हाँ व्यवस्थित है हाँ व्यवस्थित है
okay, so please concentrate on these things. Okay, so what I am going to create here is three tables. Okay, these three are very much important for our future classes also. Okay, so what are these tables? So we are simply creating a small student database where you can store all the students information in a college, or you can take it as a school. Okay, let's decide it's a school database. Okay, so the very first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new database that is named school. Okay, you can create like this. You just click OK, it will create for you, or else by using commands you can create that. Okay, so system databases master is there for me. This master, whatever system databases are there in your SQL server, don't work with that. Okay, means you can execute a simple queries like creating database, but don't work with many things, or don't try to manipulate the data inside this system databases as well as database snapshots. If you do so, it will corrupt your SQL server, and it will your SQL server may not work. You need to reinstall it. Okay, so we have a command create database and give the name. So school I am giving. Okay, it will create a database for me. Okay, it got created, and now if I go to this databases and refresh it, you can see I have the school database. You can create. Now our task is to create the tables inside it. Okay, always check that your database is selected here in this database selected database select combo box. Okay, here what are the tables we are trying to do? So my school database, it will hold all the information about the students in my school. Okay, and then I will have their student respective leaves, so they may apply for some leaves, and then that leaves I have to track. Okay, that is another table. And then I have student marks, another table which will hold all the data related to students and their marks. Okay, so all these three I have to create. First thing, same like create table. Okay, and give the table name, that is student, and give the column names, id, that is integer, and then I need it as identity column. Okay, 1 comma 1 means it will auto increase, you need not to insert any value for this, it will take care automatically. And if you want to mention it as a primary key, as I told the previous classes, you need not to create the primary key separately, you can mention this column as a primary key here itself, primary key. Okay, now I want student name, this is varchar, I will take some 200 characters, and it should not be null. Okay, names can be repeated because in a school there may be many people with the same name. So only thing, I don't want the value in this field to be null. Okay, and then age, that is integer, and then address. Okay, so whichever it shows in blue color, they are by default system keywords. Okay, if you want to use same name for your column names or table names, what you have to do is you keep that name in square brackets. That's it. It will take care automatically. Okay, now I created address field and it is varchar some 500 characters. Okay, if I don't mention anything, it may accept null values also. Okay, and then class, that is again varchar some 200, and then branch. Okay, why do we need branch? It is a school database, so not required. And then the student date of birth, this is date time field for me, and this shouldn't be null, and this shouldn't be null, not null. Okay, I created this table now. Okay, so only id, name, age, address, class, and date of birth, these are the main things I am creating for a student table. So the table got created. You can see the table here. Okay, refresh it and just expand it. You can see the table. If you see the columns, ID column is there, that is primary key, name not null, age, address, class not null, date of birth not null. Okay, next I want to create the other table, that is student leaves. This is another table, student leaves. Okay, create table student leaves. Sorry. Okay, this is my table name. So and now see, I am creating everywhere the id, so it is the common practice among the developers. So for every table they keep an identity column to ensure that it has some unique identifier. Okay, so this id again I will give integer identity 1 comma 1, and this is also a primary key, and then student id, this is int. Okay, it has to reference from the main student table. Okay, so that one we can create after this table creation. And then now start date and end date, date time, so from when to when the student is on leave, end date, date time. So that leave got approved. For boolean type of values we can use bit and applied on. So applied on means on which date the student applied for that leave. Okay. After this I am going to add alter student leaves, add constraint, sorry, no need of constraint, add foreign key, okay, student id references, okay, which table it references, student, and column, what is the column, id, okay, enter table student leaves, foreign key you have to give the name, study on student id and student table, this is id, okay, this is what I am creating my foreign key. If I execute this, it will create another table for me, and if I execute this, it will create the foreign key. So add constraint, this foreign key only. Okay, we'll see what is the syntax. So just a minute, guys. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, alter table, student leaves, add constraint. The constraint name I have given, foreign key on which column. Okay, and then references student id. So now it has created a foreign key relation between these two tables. So foreign key, I just given the syntax, but I didn't explain you guys. So what it will create is a reference from this table to this table. So in a bank account, whenever you withdraw something, it will give a transaction ID, what it is. So this transaction will be stored somewhere. So whenever you want to see the history, you can just give the transaction ID so that it will give all the details like from which ATM you have withdrawn your amount and from which on which date, okay, and how much you withdrawn, all this information it can give. But whenever you see in your banking net banking thing, it may show only very few limited details. If you want more detailed information, the transaction id is very much important. Means the transaction will reside in one table and your bank account resides in another table, but for this transaction that bank account id is just they will map. Means, so for this transaction the account from which account the amount got deducted, means in the transaction you will maintain the bank account number, but the basic bank account details will be in another table, this transaction will be in another table. So in this transaction you will have the bank account id so that it will give you the information. Okay, so like that, for which student the leaves this record represents which students leave. To maintain that, we are just giving student id. If you want more information about that student, you can directly query that table using this student id. That's why we are just putting that student id here. Okay, same way we will create another table, that is create table. What is that table? Student marks, right? Student marks, student marks. Okay, now here again id. So for every any table I will use the same naming convention, the id. Okay, and again primary key, and then again student id. So because this marks related to which student, that's what I want to know. So that's why I am just keeping that student id int, and then test name. Okay, that is varchar 200, and then maths marks. Okay, integer. Science marks integer, social marks integer, and then total marks integer, average marks decimal. Okay, this is my table I'm going to create for student marks. Okay, this table got created, and now I'm going to create a foreign key relation between the main table to this student marks table. So now student leaves. Now we have to change this to student marks. That's it. The column names are again same. So this one you can student marks to student table relation. So this one created another foreign key for me. So if you want to see how these three tables are related, what you can do is SQL Server, it provides a system diagrams. Okay, so that by using these diagrams you can see what are your tables and how they are related. So now I'm going to create a new database diagram. So under every database you can find a database diagrams folder. Right click on it, you can add a new database diagram. Support objects. Okay. Okay, this is not supporting on my machine. Actually you can click on that, that will prompt you for the tables. Okay, those tables you can view diagrammatically. Okay, so I will show you that tomorrow those diagrams, because something is missing on my machine. Okay, so these three tables now got created on my database. If we see, these three tables got created. Okay, so you can see a black key, that means foreign key relation is there. This normal yellow key means it is a primary key. Okay, this is same for the other table also. You can see what keys are on this. You can see just PK student marks, and it creates a primary key automatically. We didn't give any name, right? So it created automatically. And foreign key we created just, that is what this one. Okay, so these are the three tables I have now. So what is our next task? So joins is very much important in any program, any SQL RDBMS concepts. Okay, before going to joins, we have to insert few records here. Okay, so what I will do is I will use insert. Okay, insert into student. What are different columns we have? ID not required, name, age, okay, address, class, DOB. Okay, values I am giving some random values. Okay, John, age 20, and then address I can say New York. Okay, and then class first fifth standard. Okay, and then date of birth you can give in single quotes something like 19, fifth standard means 2010, space month you can give 0701. Okay, it creates a record for me. Okay, one row got inserted. The same way you can create many records into this. Okay, that is there. I will create one more student for testing purpose. Okay, one is John, another is Ram. So age, so this one fifth standard. Okay, 19 and is from Bangalore. Okay, this one TUC, and his date of birth is 2005 somewhere 525. Okay, this is my, so one more record got inserted. Okay, I will update this guys. Okay, that's fine. Now I want to insert records into the leaves. Okay, insert into student leaves. Now the records ID, I don't need to insert the value for ID. Okay, then ID, student ID, student ID, comma, start date, what I'm doing, end date, comma, upload, comma, applied on, values, student ID I can put 1. Okay, and then start date, give some start date, somewhere around 2015, month you can say 12th, and his leaves, or you just put 11th, and the date somewhere around 25th to 2015, 11, 28. Approved, yes, and then applied on, again date 2015, 11, 20. Okay. Okay, this is how I'm going to. So this one record got affected, you can see on student leaves the record. So for student one, the leave date started ended is there, and he applied a leave there. Okay, so like this I can create one more leave request for the same guy. 12th 05 and 12th 07 applied on 12th first. Okay, I created another record for this guy. Same way you can create two more records for the other guys. So we have student 2 dates, you can just change 20th, this one 23rd, this one you can give 18, 01, 03, 11, 25th. Okay, for another student also I am inserting few records. So now I have finally in my student list I have total 4 records in my student table. So now we will discuss about the joins. So joins means the name itself says you have to join two tables. The main purpose of joins in SQL Server is we have. Okay, an SQL join class is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a common field between them. That's what SQL joins. Okay, so if you want to join two or three tables and you want to get the result, okay, so that time you use SQL joins. So my student leaves, it has only the information like the student ID and from when he applied for leave to when, and it got approved or not, and when he applied. But by this table only I can get the student information like this student. So this student has applied from this to this. By ID you can identify, but how people can identify without a student name? Okay, so that time you need to bring the details from student table, as well as you need to bring the details from leaves table, and you need to merge the both, and you have to show to the end user. Then only you can get, uh, then only the report will be a meaningful one. Okay, so these joins are very much helpful in providing such kind of features. Okay, we have the very basic one, SQL joins. In that we have inner join. Inner join means the diagram itself says it returns only the common information between these two tables. Okay, common rows means, so the table 1 has some information and table 2 has some information based on a condition means, so the records whichever in table 1 as well as the records in table 2, if both have a common name, common value, matches that thing, then only it will return you the common rows between these two tables. So you can see the example, select star from table 1, inner join table 2. So here the the columns you are comparing. So in both the tables, if the column values are same, return only those records whichever has the same column value. That's what the inner join says. We'll see an example here. So then I have to create one more guy here. Okay, so okay, you see, okay, okay, this is another student I am creating. So now my student table has three records. that is John, Ram and Vasu, and the student leaves. I have 4 records. When I join these two, if I apply inner join, it will return only 4 records. So you will not get the Vasu record. Okay. So what I will do is select star from student. So aliases I told. So you can use alias here std. Okay. Inner join student leaves means SL. The inner join condition is on. So you are joining these two tables on a condition, means you are using that keyword on. Condition is std dot id equal to sl dot student id. Okay, so we inserted into student id the same id from the student table, right? So this is the condition we are using. It returns only John and Ram names. Vasu name is not there, because if you see from this diagram, it says whichever has the same column value. Okay, the same inner join returns only those records or rows that matches or exists in both the tables. Okay, both the tables you have the same value, you should have the same value, then only it will return the values, the matching values. So from my both the tables I am using the condition whichever id in my whichever id is common from the two tables. So the common value between the two tables on the columns, that is id from student table and student id from student leaves table. If these two columns has the same value, you return all those rows and you combine them. Okay, so this star returns all the columns from left side table. Okay, and then the right side table means the student leaves. So it combines two results. It is like one to many, because one student can have multiple leaves, right? So we have 4 records. So Jan and Ram has two leave records in student leaves table. So those 2 records are combined with the student table information. So total 4 records it returned. You got it or any doubts? Any doubts, please ask me now. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is what inner join. Okay. So we have outer joins. Outer joins, if you see the diagrams, outer join means in this also we have 3 types of outer joins. So using these joins fetch the data from multiple tables based on a condition. So these outer joins, what they do is they are specialized conditions. So we have 3 types. I will explain each one individually. So left outer join means whichever records those are present in left side table, you return those records and common to both the tables. So I am saying always common to both the tables means that is a specific condition based on 2 column values. Okay, not entire row values. So whatever column name you give or the set of column names you specify in during on condition. So here I have on statement. Okay, so select star from std and then inner join and then student leaves. Now I have on this condition. Here I can mention multiple column conditions. Okay, one is id student id, and I can also say something like applied on those 2 columns. So from these 2 tables I can mention any column conditions. Okay, you can match any column conditions. Okay, based on those conditions, if both has the satisfying records, whichever satisfying records are there, they will be joined means they both will be merged and the result will be returned. In left outer join, so the matching rows as well as all the rows from all the records from left side table. If you are joining two tables, if you see on my diagram, the right side diagram, left outer join, so it returns all the records in the left side table and the common records based on the condition from the table 2 it will return. Okay, so here my condition, this very first one, inner join, okay, it returned me only 4 records. Okay, because this Vasu doesn't have any record in the leaves table, that's why it didn't return any values for me. That name didn't come. So if I want to get all the students whether they have any leaves applied or not, so if they applied for a leave or not, I want to see all the records, all the students records. Okay, so that time what I will do is I will use left outer join. Okay, this same one I can use instead of inner join, I can mention left outer join. That's it. You can see now these two conditions I will execute and you can see the results. You can compare. So the first one is with inner join, the second one is left outer join. Okay, so inner join it gives only 4 records, the second one it gives 5 records, and you can see the Vasu record is here but not in inner join, because according to this one, the left outer join, it returns all the records from table 1. Here my table 1 is student and table 2 is student leaves. So the matching records means in my student table I have the records for John and Ram, but whereas in left outer join I don't have the values for this Vasu, so all the column values will be returned as null. Okay, this is left outer join. Okay, these joins are very much important. Please ask me whenever you have some doubt or you didn't get any clarification on this. Okay, interview questions or during your work also, these are very much important. Next, we have right outer join. This is quite reverse. Okay, so if you have any records in the right, so left outer join, this is opposite to left outer join. So what it will do? It will return all the records from the table 2 and the matching records from table 1. Okay, that is what right outer join. Okay, so to specify that, we should have, so here that example we cannot explain. If you want to explain that example, what I can do is these two tables I can reverse and I can show you. Okay, because we cannot insert in leaves table without any student entry. Okay, so what I will do is here I will mention student leaves. Here I will do student, and anyway it will return you the same result, std and sl. Okay, okay, this one id, this one. Okay, so you can see, so it returns all the values from table 2, but that to matching one. So Vasu record, it is not there because the left side table it won't return the result. So the only the matching records will be returned from table 2 and all the records from table 1. Okay, for this one, there are only, so it has to return, sorry. I have to change it here the condition. Now it will return Vasu name also. You can see just, so from right side there are no values, but left side the table is there. So it returns all the records from right side table, and left side it doesn't have any values, so it returns null values. Okay, full outer means it returns the records from both the tables. Okay, combines left outer join and right outer join. This join returns all the records or rows from both the tables. If there are no columns matching in both the tables, it returns null values. Okay, so to explain that also we need some two different tables, but it is combination of left and right outer join. So it will return all the records, but whenever there is no matching record for table 1 in table 2, it will return null values for table 2 values. Whenever there is no values for table 1, for table 2 records in table 1, it will return null values for table 1. Okay, that's what full outer join. Now there is a cross join. Cross join means it will return all the records from table. It is n into n. Okay, n into m. Okay, so it combines with all the records from table 1 with all the records in table 2. So you can see that example, student cross join. So in cross join you need not to mention any condition. It will automatically takes full. So I have four records in my table 2, that is student leaves, and three records in table 1. So 3 into 4. So 3 into 4, 12 records it will return. So it will combine each record from table 1 with each record in table 2. So many to many operation here. So record 1 will be matched with R1. Okay, so table 1 record 1 with table 2 record 1 and table 2 record 2, like that it will match, it will join with all the records in table 2 and it returns the results. So this is cross join. Okay, and then self join means if you want to join the table itself, the same table itself, if you want to join, you can join that. Okay, so what you can do is select star from student. Okay, and join student itself. Okay, so you can join based on a condition. Okay, std.id equal to std1.id. So let's go on. So it returns the same results. It is self joined. Okay, this is what self join. So any doubts on these joins, please ask me now. These concepts are very much important for your interviews or even for your work. Okay, so you guys are good, or any doubts? Okay, so I hope you guys are good. So the joins are very much important. I will check in this SQL Server scripts. Please create the same tables on your machines. Okay, and we have to work on these tables from tomorrow. Okay, I will ask you guys to insert same like in my C sharp sample. You have to insert many students, somewhere around some thousand students into my table, student table. Okay, and then you have to create some random leave requests as well as student marks in those tables that will create some stored procedures and all. Okay, tomorrow I will explain you about the same things like in C sharp, the variable declaration and conditional statements, loops. These things I will explain you guys tomorrow. Okay, so please create these tables and try to insert some records into these tables. Okay, I'm checking in this code. Okay, this one I am checking in for your reference. Okay, so please create these tables so that it will be easy for us to move on. Okay, any more doubts? Or you guys are good? Okay, I hope you guys are good. So we'll meet tomorrow. Please create these tables on our database. Okay, we will work on these tables only daily on classes. Okay, thank you guys. Have a nice day.